broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, here we go, Steven. Your song's playing. You guys know this song? I didn't know it before this, but hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Grinder After Show. I'm your host, Leslie Ambriz. You can find me on Twitter at @InLessThanNoTime, and also be sure to tell your friends about the After Show. Follow us on iTunes, YouTube, pretty much anywhere you can get media. And I'm here with my super awesome co-host, Steven.
Thank you very much. Hello, Steven Helmcamp. You can find me at Steven Helmcamp on Instagram and Twitter. Happy for episode 11, as I just busted and dropped my headphones.
You're going to hear about that later.
Yeah. Exodus, part 1.
The way you exited out of that smoothly.
Out of my headphones? I know.
No,
hopefully
didn't catch that.
They'll be okay.
Yeah, we've got Exodus part 1 today, and we have a super awesome guest star. I don't know if you caught it. Did you ever watch Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, yeah.
It was Pedro.
Pedro.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Totally out of his
I
element.
didn't even realize
didn't have
that
the
was the guy from
mustache
Napoleon
on,
Dynamite.
but still played kind of a stereotype going on in there. But we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So starting off this episode is Dean is finally moving out. Not on his own terms, but on Stu's terms.
Well, I feel like Dean, Dean felt the pressure, which Stu has been kind of applying the whole series.
Yeah.
But I don't even feel like Stewart was really kicking him, giving him the boot, but Dean just kind of being dramatic, just took it and was like, okay, fine, I see what you're saying, I'll just move on out, and we're not brothers anymore.
See, I think he was, though, because it's kind of been one of those, like, boiling points where he's leading up to it little by little. Every episode he's mentioned something of, oh, you still live here? Or like, oh, okay, what's going on? And then we start off this episode with kind of the pushover where him and Todd and the dad are chilling, just, like, super slobby, like hanging out, binging what we would like
using
Netflix.
Like the common
Do
space,
they have Netflix on the grinder? I don't know, but yeah. So I think that was kind of the push for Stu, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, maybe you should get like your own
That is
place."
a push. Like when someone's abusing your living room, and especially if like you're a cleanly person like me, I have a roommate, and if he has like a bunch of friends over, and they're all in the living room, and I come home after like a long day, and I just want to like quiet, silence, and like the place to be clean the way I left it. And I come home, I can totally relate to Stuart in that moment.
They're kind of just like,
it's annoying. It's like, okay, you're living here for free. Dad, you have your own place. And Todd, what are you even doing here? I see you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Why are you here with your shoes and socks
Poor
off
Todd, nobody
on
wants
my
him
expensive countertop? Get it off. So I really thought that was a funny scene. And I totally can relate to Stuart in that aspect. And then Todd gets up to like shake off all the popcorn. He's just like, you're just stomping it further into the ground.
No, that's gross. If people do that, you just see them get up and they like dust themselves off and you're like,
but it's like the little details of the show that they continue to mention and just like talk about. Like a lot of people like, yeah, you realize when you eat popcorn it falls on your shirt, but a lot of times you don't say anything about it. But the grinder does say things about it.
Everything.
Yeah, the details, which is like part of their comedy. It's kind of their shtick. Like when Dean's walking away after meeting Stuart at the front and his car's there and he's like, well, you drove all the way over here and then just to walk away, it doesn't make sense.
But that's classic Dean. He's gonna walk away. He's gonna pick the most dramatic, even like when he's sitting with the dad and just like hits his hand on the table and then all of a sudden the dad has to do it too.
The dad
there was no reason for it, but it's more like
reason.
Dean wears the pants in that father-son relationship.
Yeah, the father likes, I think the father just thinks Dean is like the coolest God's gift to earth, and I feel like the dad is just so proud that he's his son and just wants to be cool. Like
he's
Dean.
Like I wasn't cool, but my kid is super cool, so I'm gonna live through him.
Yeah, like the dad looks up to Dean.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Which even brings in like older movie comedy.
Yeah,
little references there too.
And it plays into that dynamic that like Stuart doesn't seem like the favorite child at all.
Stu's the kid's like, oh, you can just stand there and look pretty, and we'll let Dean actually stand there and look pretty, but be doing something that's positive while you're just messing everything up.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So
I love the top of the episode where it takes place of the grinder in Nicaragua, and he's there.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that.
The beach bum, and he's like, he goes up to talk to the other lawyer, and the other lawyer's like trying to get him to come back, and he's got a fish in his hand. He's like, well, I don't think so, buddy. And he just chunks the fish at the wall, like.
Suddenly he's fluent in Spanish, like after being there for maybe not that long. You really love dropping those headphones.
Again,
you should probably wear them.
I know.
Steven tried to be really cool today and not wear his headphones and convinced me not to do it,
Well,
guys.
I just feel like I hear
so
you
far,
fine without them.
I'm winning, you're losing the situation.
I keep busting mine, I know.
Ouch, you know? But yeah, going back to that beginning of the episode is this was such a episode referencing a lot of classics. Like, I don't know if you've seen a recent Mozart in the Jungle.
No.
Oh, it's Amazon Prime show, super good. But they kind of have a similar scene where someone who is on top gets pushed down to the bottom of the food chain in their job, ends up going to Cuba and like is fluent in Spanish and is playing the bongos and just this old guy living life, super like bushy and everything.
Yeah.
Which reminded me exactly of this scene. So I was like, okay, we going back to like old school drama shows where somebody goes a little psycho,
and
needs to go on a deserted
go to
island,
a third world country or something like that. Totally.
Because that's where you find yourself, you know, as a third world country. I mean, that's why people do mission trips, right? To take photos with African children and post them for their friends to see.
I would love to do a mission trip actually, where like I can go do some good in the world, and then also check into a resort after like 4 or 5 days of hard manual labor for a bunch of people, and then like kick it and relax. And enjoy the beautiful area of that country. And that sounds like it's a win-win for everybody, right?
Yeah, I have different thoughts on that, but we'll talk about that later. That's completely unnecessary.
You know what I did like at the top of the episode? How, like in the opening scene where they're always in the living room watching an episode of The Grinder, they always kind of reference and talk about themselves as like a show.
Always making fun of themselves, yeah.
Yeah. And
I feel like we kind of got a little shout out.
Yeah,
Did you feel that too?
I felt like they were kind of talking about the recap after show. Like, big up, Grinder, because the dad was saying, yeah, well, this is how we do it. We watch the show and then we talk about the show. That's the way it goes. And we'll watch part 2 and we'll talk about part 2. Yeah. But it's like we're a recap show.
Are y'all
this is all we do. So I feel like they may have seen what we're up to.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
And yeah, I feel like they kind of gave us a little like thumbs up. Like, hey.
I mean, they were putting in all of our suggestions at the beginning of the season. So maybe that was an AfterBuzz cue.
And if that's the case, tweet us. Better yet, come on the show and you can sit right here, smack dab in the middle. And we'll talk.
Talk about life. Steven wants to guest star on the show. Put
What's
him on,
up?
everyone.
Come on.
But so covering all that, and now going back to Andre, he comes
Pedro,
in. Yeah, he's the perfect house guest, unlike Dean.
I want an Andre.
He's cooking for them. He's basically their live-in maid. Yeah. Which is a little weird considering like diversity reasons for me. But I mean, in the sense of comedy, there's never anything that's going to be politically correct or it's going to be crazy. So I think it was fine pushing all that aside. But I love how attached the kids get to everybody that Stu is kind of like about.
Well, it's like Stu is really, his voice of reason, which is a legitimate voice of reason, is constantly looked at as just the bad, mean guy. But like he's the only sane person in the whole cast.
Literally in the whole cast, whole family, even him and his wife. His wife is kind of crazy.
I like the whole law firm. He really is like the most sane, maybe and Claire. I think Claire.
But even Claire had kind of like a downside with when she kind of goes with Timothy Oliphant.
I mean, girls just want to have fun, Leslie.
But I'm just saying.
Girls just want to have fun. She kind of gave in. Yeah, I mean, she definitely had her moment there, but I feel like in the gist of everything, and in my opinion, like Claire and Stu obviously are the most sane people. Stu is just in the forefront. He's the lead of the show. But yeah, his voice of reason every time is just slammed down as the bad,
everyone's just
bad
like, no, you
Grinch.
Suck. I hate you.
Yeah,
in the words of Todd, screw you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Screw you. I'm coming with you.
No. Thank you for your consideration.
So okay, I'm back. I'm not leaving. I take that back.
Oh my gosh. No, but Andre was perfect. I love that they had him and Deb. Where we see the crazy side of Deb. We saw the really strong side of her in a few episodes back. Now we see her just
Getting
losing
pampered
it
and loving
completely. She's loving it. She's being pampered. Willing to sacrifice Andre moving out for that, but
and he
it
even
makes for good
claims
stuff.
that he has like a felony conviction and stuff, so he can't get an apartment.
How awful would that be? Like go somewhere and people are like, nah, no, don't even come near me.
That's hilarious. So
poor Andre. And then we have Dean. Towards the end of it, he's going to Roz and Landry.
Yeah, he's getting poached by the opposing law firm. They're coming at him. And I mean, I don't think they really want him as a brilliant lawyer and to be able to speak in front of the case or be able to speak in the courtroom. I think they really want him on their team so he's not I think they're just causing up a stir.
Oh yeah, they don't care about
on
him
the
at
other
all.
firm.
No,
exactly. And I think that we'll get into predictions.
It's like when people be dating on the rebound. They don't really care about that rebound. They just want to get that other person back. You know, it's exactly in different ways. It's exactly revenge. The same thing. Yeah, that's all they care about. But I like that we brought them back. I like that there's not only tension between Stu and Dean.
Yeah.
But there's now tension between the two
opposing
law firms. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to have some opposition there in the courtroom.
It adds for the drama, which balances out the comedy. You know, it's perfect.
Exactly. And then Dean, being the good soul that he is and love for his brother, he comes clean with it to Stuart. Drives over to his house there at the night. Comes clean, says, I want you to know before anyone else knows. This is what's going on. And Stuart's like, dude, what are you talking about? What do you mean there's a loophole to find about not having the bar completed and you're going to go speak in a courtroom? You can't be a lawyer. He's just, again, being the voice of reason. But Dean's just so excited to be speaking in the courtroom and feels the love that these two attorneys are giving him. So and then it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
Sorry to interrupt you, but they're kind of throwing in the reference, like the McDreamy, the same doctor reference that
he was using.
He did at the beginning. I think it was the first episode.
Yeah.
So I love that they're bringing back old jokes.
Right. Yeah. Who would you rather have save you, a real doctor or a doctor who's played a doctor, a guy who's played a doctor for 8 years on TV? Hands down, Noah Wiley.
Hey, I think it's really funny. If you guys can think of any, like, if you would rather have this person or somebody else who's doing that profession that's not an actor, throw them in the YouTube comments. I think it'd be something that'd be really funny for us to see. So
yeah, kids are spoiled with Andre.
Totally.
They want their avocado toast.
But they're spoiled with everyone. They were spoiled with Dean. They were spoiled with Andre now. I do wish I had someone like Andre making me avocado toast every morning, though, because
life.
Let's be honest, it's hard to eat healthy. And if you had somebody already cooking for you,
I know.
Hey.
I know. Yeah.
It'd be bomb.
It's funny when Ethan's like, they're at the breakfast table and the news gets revealed that, Andre got a crib, dude. He's out of the house. And then they're all like, oh, you kicked him out just the way you kicked Dean out? And then Ethan's walking away. Is anyone safe? like he's at threat. He's at jeopardy.
Because he's going to leave
in the house
soon.
or not.
Ethan, every time coming in with his one-liners.
He's good. He's a sound little actor.
No, yeah. He's really good with the comedic timing and everything.
Really good. And we're working on getting him out. We're reaching out to all the cast. We're reaching out to the publicists and trying to get them on. So
definitely.
Yeah, be good if we get them on.
Hopefully soon. That'd be so funny to hear like their intake on just the different scenes and stuff. Because we already had Hannah's ideas.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear more people's experiences.
100%. You know? How about the kiss? The big kiss at the end.
I forgot about that too.
That was a really big deal.
I forgot about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Dee just lays a huge kiss on Stuart.
Just brotherly love, you know?
I have a feeling like that there's a good chance that was just like kind of in the moment. That could have been in the moment.
I think it was.
I don't know if that was in the writing or what, but I could totally see them being on set being like, it would be funny if we just did it. Just let me lay one on you.
It's not the first time though. This is the second one.
Kiss?
Didn't they kiss? Yeah.
What?
When they were doing that really dramatic ending to the grinder?
Did they kiss there?
I'm pretty sure they kissed.
Oh, when Dean was getting killed off or something?
Yeah. Didn't they?
Maybe they did. I know they were like hugging and they were like face to face.
Maybe it was just really close, like almost kiss, and this was like the boom, it's gonna happen. I can't remember if they did or not.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was good. Well,
just always bringing it back.
Do you have any news and gossip?
I don't, but you've told me that you do, so let's hear it.
I got a little bit. So Noah Lowe.
Oh, we got
news and gossip. Yeah, Rob Lowe has a brother.
Some tunes.
Not only does he have a son who's on the show. What was the son's name again?
Ooh, Jake.
Chadwick or
No.
what was it? Oh,
His
such a
son
good
was
last
on
name.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, he went by the last name. It'll come to me later. But Rob Lowe has a younger brother who is a star and a cast member on Pretty Little Liars. He's actually going to be directing an episode of The Grinder
No way.
in mid-February, and they're going to have guest star Maya Rudolph on that episode.
Yes, dude, I love her.
I know, isn't she good?
She's so funny.
From she's done everything.
SNL,
Bridesmaids,
Bridesmaids,
SNL. Yeah, she plays like a therapist on The Grinder.
Oh my god, that's gonna be hilarious.
Be dope if she's gonna be a recurring,
yes,
right? So that episode is coming in mid-February, and then I looked up some reviews. So like Grandfathered came out the same time as The Grinder, and these shows. I mean, John Stamos and Rob Lowe. They look kind of alike. They're both leading men, handsome, bachelors, similar age, and shows came out at the same time. So, and they're on the same network. So they're almost like competing with each other. Yeah, so not two shows, both shows can survive, likely. That's what a lot of people are saying in a lot of threads.
Which one do you think is gonna?
Well, Grandfather has a slight lead in terms of getting a season 2. And The Grinder, on the forum I read, The Grinder is struggling a little bit. So they got to get better ratings.
Maybe with Maya Rudolph and coming in,
they
that'll
better keep the guest
boost it up
stars
a little
coming.
more. Because everyone loves her, especially her Star Spangled Banner. Have you seen that skit?
She's hilarious. No, I haven't seen the Star
It's
Spangled.
so funny. Look it up.
Was it on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, it was on Saturday Night Live.
All right, I'll have to look that up. So yeah, we got to get the ratings up on Grindr, which I think it's a great half-hour comedy.
It's gotta come up. You guys tweet about it. I mean, people have stopped other shows from getting canceled just literally with the power of Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So it could happen
with the fans. That's what it all comes down to for sure. But I think bringing on the additional guest stars and stuff will be cool.
Definitely.
And
some of the best episodes were when they had the really big guest stars like Christina Applegate and Timothy Olyphant. That was the best. And then kind of we haven't seen as many guest stars now. I mean, Pedro was a big one, but even not so much because he's not identifiable, and they didn't really throw in any Napoleon references that people would get. Whereas the other guest stars, I feel like, have had references to their past.
But do you feel like maybe Andre's like, I don't want to be Pedro?
Maybe. That could be he's trying to break out of that.
Trying to break the Napoleon Dynamite shell a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know.
If you trying to boost the ratings,
you know what? So that's called being typecast, where like you do one role, you do one thing, and then that's what you get cast as every single time. But the second one, my acting coach always says, the second word of typecast is cast. Means you're cast. You're working, you're booked, you're a working actor, so be appreciative of that. So,
good advice for anyone
double-edged sword,
pursuing acting. Yeah. There you go. Do you got any predictions for us this week?
Predictions?
Oh, we're probably going to get some cool space music.
I do have some predictions.
There it is.
And now, your
predictions. Yeah, I think that Dean is gonna go full steam ahead with the opposing law firm. They're gonna get to business. He's just gonna eat up everything they're feeding him, and they're gonna feed it to him on a silver platter for him getting in the courtroom and really getting involved and winning cases and getting background checks and full security on the most ridiculous people that he doesn't even need all this information for. And it's all just going to blow up in his face. I think the true colors of the opposing firm is going to come to surface.
It's going to come right back. Yeah, I'd love to see some funny stuff between that. Because I know you said kind of like the dramatic stuff and seeing it blow up in his face. I'd kind of like to see them get into, or Stu's firm try to get into like a really weird situation with them, end up failing, they win, but then in the end they fail.
I want to see Stu's firm come after him, save Dean, and take the opposing law firm down.
But they're all like such misfits. I don't think it would happen.
You never know.
Really?
Brotherly love. We've seen it come through all the time. It's going to be part 2 tied into part 1.
Okay.
And it's always brothers come and save the day at the end of the day, you know?
Okay. And I'm still rooting for that school episode where we see more of Hannah and Ethan. Or Lizzie and Ethan.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Still rooting for it. Well, that's all we got for today.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Again, you can catch us on iTunes or YouTube. Share it with your friends. Hashtag #TheGrinderABTV. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at In Less Than No Time. I'm Leslie Ambriz,
and I am Stephen Helmcamp on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're back next week at 8:30 Pacific time. The Grinder, Fox. Tune in. Tell your friends. Get the ratings up. Boom.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The grinder rests.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.